In today's video, we'll be reviewing the newest release from Sora Dora called YLOP. If you're interested, then just keep watching. Hi, my name is Ayesha from simplyayesha.com. Here on YouTube, I make videos about fragrance, beauty, luxury, and lifestyle. If those are things you're interested in, please subscribe. And if you are a returning subscriber, hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a single fragrance review. I have not done one of these videos in a long time, but I wanted to do this one because I was very excited when I heard about this fragrance. So this video is a part of my Love, Like, or Let Down series. If you've never seen one of these videos from me, I will link the playlist for you up above in the cards, and I'll also link it in the description box below. But basically in these videos, I give you guys my very first impression of a fragrance, but I then wear it at least 6 times and come back with a full-on review for you all. So the first portion of this video will be showing you my raw first impressions, and then within the same video, I'll come back and give you a full, very thorough review. And at the end, I'll let you know if this fragrance ended up being a love, a like, or a letdown for me. So let's go ahead and get into the first impressions. So yes, I am wearing my pajamas. Because I am so excited to wear this fragrance. It's been a long time since I got a fragrance and wanted to do one of these videos and couldn't wait until the next day to try it out. So here we are. I am freshly showered. I have a few hours before I go to bed, so I will have some time to test this. I take my showers kind of early. So anyway, here is the box. It's nighttime, so I'm sorry I had to use some artificial lighting. So hopefully it still shows up pretty well, even though the box is white, but we will do our best. So here is what it looks like in the box. And it comes with a dust cloth. And here is the bottle. So that's what the bottle looks like. It has this marble top, frosted glass bottle. It has the name of the fragrance right here in the front, and on the back it says Sora Dora. So I do really like these white bottles from Sora Dora more so than the black ones. So I think we will spray on a card at first, just because I have time today. So let's do it. Okay, I am getting a kind of soapy floral with some sweetness. Definitely like a gourmand undertone, but more floral, like soapy floral. Okay, let's spray skin. All right, let's see. Oh, ooh, okay. So I'm getting a soapy floral, but definitely some more like warm scent coming out, kind of like a bready type scent is coming out on my skin. This is really interesting. I can definitely pick up some fruitiness. I think it's apricot in this fragrance. I think that's what I'm smelling. And this kind of warm, musky, but bready type of scent. This is very interesting. This is unique. Okay, so very first smell, what do I think? Right now, it's a high like, and the reason it's a high like is because I really like the way it smells. It smells interesting, but I kind of don't understand it as of right now. So that's how I'm feeling first smell, but it is very intriguing. Like I want to get to know this more. So that's just my very first raw first impression. Keep watching this video. I will be back after I wear this fragrance at least 6 times to give you guys my full-on review of YLOP. So I've now had the chance to wear this fragrance, I believe 7 times. It's been well over a week since I filmed that first impressions portion. So I feel like I definitely have a handle on this fragrance and I'm ready to give you a full review. So YLOP is a very interesting fragrance in the way that it smells. It starts out kind of zesty and zingy. Just a reminder, because I have not done these videos in a long time, I want to remind you that for my reviews, and this is in general on my channel, I typically do not look at the notes prior to filming my review. So of course I looked at the notes when I decided if I wanted this fragrance, but it's not one of those things that I keep looking at because I don't want to study the notes and let those notes, the listed notes, determine what I smell. So as always, I will have the notes on the screen. I know some of you all don't like that, but honestly, I feel like this is just the best way for me. And a lot of you all do enjoy the way that I review. So if I'm talking and I say wrong notes, oh well. You have the real notes here on the screen. When I'm talking, I'm telling you how it smells to me, okay? So with that out of the way, when this fragrance opens up, it opens up very kind of like zingy. And I feel like I can pick up something very bright, like maybe bergamot, but also something like possibly some ginger. I'm a ginger lover, but I'm not quite sure that it's ginger. It smells that kind of like zesty spiciness that you can get from ginger, but for some reason I don't feel like it's ginger, but it's similar. Anyway, it opens up with that brightness, and then immediately what comes into play is a deep kind of nuttiness and almost like a leathery floral scent. But it smells dark and interesting. It doesn't smell like a jasmine or a white floral. And I believe it's osmanthus. I have never smelled actual osmanthus, but I believe it's that. And then of course you also have apricot in this fragrance as well. And that's giving it a bit of a sweetness, a rich sweetness, but it's done in kind of a dark way. I feel like apricot, to me, when I think about how they smell, although they're sweet, they don't smell bright. They smell dark. And that's the type of sweetness that I get from apricots in general. And that is the type of sweetness that I get from this fragrance. Also in the background of this fragrance, I feel like I can pick up something a little bit more gourmand. It's probably a vanilla or a tonka, but it's not extremely sweet. It's more so just giving it a gourmand touch. As this fragrance continues to wear, I feel like it definitely mellows out. The zestiness goes away, and you're more so left with this fluffy, slightly sweet, slightly nutty floral gourmand fragrance. So I know that kind of sounded all over the place, but I'm telling you, this fragrance is kind of all over the place, not necessarily in a bad way, but there's a lot going on in this fragrance. And that's why I really wanted to take my time with this review, because I was really trying to get to know it. So the notes that really kind of stand out in my head, at least from what I think I smell, would be almond, apricot, some sort of fluffy vanilla, and osmanthus. Those are the notes that I feel like stick out to me. And when I think about this fragrance, those are the notes that I kind of associate with this fragrance. So I actually expected this fragrance to be a very feminine fragrance, but after getting it and wearing it, I feel like it is perfectly unisex. I could definitely see a man wearing this. Not my man per se, but I feel like men that are into fragrance and will experiment with different things, I could definitely see a man like that wearing it. So the men of Fragcom, I could see wearing it, but maybe not the person who just goes to buy Dior Sauvage because it's popular. You get what I'm saying? Nothing against those men, but y'all know what I mean, right? Now, as far as projection and longevity, I found this fragrance lasted really well. So I will say I was able to get about anywhere from like 6 to 8 hours on this fragrance. It is very hot where I live. It is very humid where I live. And I feel like, with that being said, on the days that I wore this like out and about, I felt like I was getting about around the 6 hour mark out of this fragrance. But on the days where I was wearing this in air conditioning, I was definitely getting about 8 hours on this fragrance. Now, as far as projection, I don't find this to be a very beastly type projector. So I feel like anybody who's standing like within arm's length will smell it on you within the first maybe like 2 to 3 hours. And then after that, it becomes a more intimate scent. However, it is not a skin scent at that point. For me, it stays like just that close bubble of scent. So people reaching in for a hug will smell it on you. People that are sitting next to you will smell it on you. But somebody that may be sitting across like a large table from you will not smell it. Hopefully that makes sense. I feel like it doesn't get into like a real skin scent until around that 6 hour mark. So when I smell this fragrance, it actually makes me think of warm weather. So I think of spring and summer. However, once I actually wore this fragrance, I feel like it's definitely one of those fragrances you could wear year round. I don't think that this is too light for cold weather. Now, I don't live in a place that gets very cold, but I could definitely imagine myself wearing this in cold weather because it has that bit of spiciness at the opening, and then it kind of has that fluffy gourmand floral. So even though this is a floral scent, because there's so much other stuff going on in it, I definitely feel like this is year-round appropriate. Now, for me and where I live, now that I'm done testing this fragrance out, I don't think I would wear this on a day where I'm going to be outside in the hot heat, just because for me, it doesn't feel like that type of fragrance. It's not airy enough for that type of situation. However, if you're going to be in and out of the car or anything like that, I definitely would wear it during the dead heat of summer, but it's just not something I would wear and go be outside. So as far as what type of places I would wear this to, I feel like it's quite versatile, honestly. I have worn this to church. I've worn it out to lunch with somebody. I've worn it out at night. I've worn it to bed. And I felt like it was appropriate for all of those types of occasions. So for me, this is very versatile. Again, to reiterate, I think it's year-round appropriate. I also think it can work for pretty much any type of situation. I just wouldn't wear it on like the hottest day of the year when I'm gonna be outside. So is this fragrance unique? I have to say it definitely is for me. I don't have anything in my collection that smells exactly like it. However, in these videos, I do like to share comparisons with you no matter what, because I feel like that really helps a lot of you all if you're determining if you should blind buy this or if you should buy a sample or whatever. It seems to help a lot of you all. So I do have 3 fragrances that I'm going to compare it to. And the first one that we're going to compare it to is one of my all-time favorite fragrances. And the reason that I decided to compare it to this is because, number one, when you see the notes for YLOP, well, me personally, when I see the notes for YLOP and I saw apricot and osmanthus, I immediately thought about one of my faves, probably my fave, Amouage Sunshine. Now, Amouage Sunshine does not have an apricot note in it, but it is widely accepted by a lot of people that the osmanthus in this smells like apricot. So a lot of people associate this with apricot. So of course, I had to compare Sunshine Woman to YLOP. Now, Sunshine Woman to me is an apricot-y floral. It definitely has some almond nuttiness to it, and it also has this white tobacco note that to me really makes this fragrance unique. So when I think about how it compares to YLOP, I would say they're similar in the fact that they both have osmanthus and they both have apricot. I also feel like they're kind of fragrances that if you like one, you will like the other. More so if you like Sunshine, you'll probably like this. But if you like YLOP, you may not necessarily like Sunshine, because I do still feel like YLOP is probably easier to wear than Sunshine, because Sunshine has a tobacco note, which I happen to love, but some people don't. So they're not the same, but I do feel like they live in the same city, you know? They live in the same city. They're both apricot, osmanthus, floral gourmands without being extremely gourmand. So I know a lot of you have had the chance to smell Sunshine. A lot of you love it. Some of you hate it. But either way, if Sunshine was interesting to you at all, and maybe you just didn't like the tobacco note in it, then you definitely should get your nose on YLOP. Not the same, you could definitely have both, but I do think that they are somewhat in the same vibe. So the next fragrance I'm going to compare it to, it actually reminds me more of YLOP, and the notes would not say that it does, but it honestly does. So this one is from Amouage as well, and this is Sunshine Man. So Sunshine Man, I thought was discontinued. However, last night when I was preparing for this video, I looked it up and it's now available again on the Amouage site. I haven't seen any discounters, but it is available on the Amouage website very easily. Maybe they reformulated or something. Maybe that's why I went away and came back. But I'm talking about the bottle that I have. So Sunshine Man has a lot going on, y'all. This features the note of immortelle, which to me kind of gives off a bready sweetness. It is a floral note, but it gives off that bready sweetness, and I definitely get that in this fragrance. And then there also is something kind of sour, but also quite bright about this scent. And definitely some aromatic nature to the scent. And I know that probably ain't sound good, and this fragrance is not for everybody. But honestly, when I smelled YLOP, I thought about Sunshine Man. They are nowhere near the same level of potency, okay? Sunshine Man is quite strong, quite polarizing. YLOP is very like soft, well-rounded, much lighter than Sunshine Man. So Even though I don't think these fragrances smell exactly alike, I do feel like, again, where Sunshine Woman and YLOP lived in the same city, Sunshine Man and YLOP live in the same neighborhood. And the notes for, when you look up the notes for Sunshine Man, it's not going to look like it, but I'm telling you from smell, they do smell somewhat similar. Again, not the same at all. But definitely somewhat similar. And then the last fragrance I wanted to compare it to is Vra Vroom from Penhaligon's. So this is another osmanthus scent, and to me, this one is definitely more of a floral scent. When I smell this scent, I get the osmanthus that gives it kind of that sweet floral nature. But I believe this also has iris in it. If it's not iris, it has some sort of sweet powdery floral that gives it a bit of a lipsticky vibe. This also opens up pretty bright. It smells like it has some sort of orange note at the top, and that's definitely really prominent when you first spray this fragrance. So I do think these fragrances remind me of each other. They are not the same. But they do remind me of each other, and they do both focus on the note of osmanthus. However, whereas YLOP is more of a floral gourmand, I feel like Vra Vroom is just more of a floral. And again, I would say that these live maybe in the same neighborhood, but this smells way more complex in my opinion than Vra Vroom. I also feel like YLOP, because it has that gourmand touch to it and it has a bit of a leathery sweetness to it, this definitely feels like something I could wear year round, whereas Vra Vroom to me just smells like spring, summer only. I wouldn't wear this when it's cold outside. So as of right now, YLOP is only available in a 50 ml size, and this retails for $220. However, I do have a discount code that will save you 10%, I believe. I believe it's 10%. I'll have it linked in the description box below. So if you're super interested in trying it, definitely use the discount code, because as of right now, you can't find this at any discounter's website. So if you want this now, you will be paying retail for it. So we're nearing the end of the video, and so it's time for me to let you guys know if YLOP is a love, a like, or a letdown for me. So this is the part of the video where I want you to pause the video, go down into the comment section and type your guess. Do you think it's a love? Do you think it's a like? Or do you think it's a letdown? Okay, I gave you enough time. This fragrance is dun, 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 a love. Yay! I'm so excited. I'm so excited when a fragrance ends up being a love. If you've seen these videos from me, sometimes I love a fragrance at first smell, but by the time I do the review, I ain't really checking for it no more. This is not that type of fragrance for me. This is a fragrance that as I was testing it out, I really, really enjoyed wearing it. I did not get tired of wearing it while I was testing it. And I love it. I love it. I forgot to mention it earlier, but I did receive some compliments off this fragrance. So other people love it on me as well. There was one compliment I received when I went to lunch, and it was a lunch with a big group of people, all of them smelling good. Not as good as me though, apparently, because when I reached in for a hug with one of my friends, they immediately complimented me, and they were not the only one. Somebody else complimented me after that during that same lunch. Also got a compliment on this when I went to my son's appointment. So somebody that was behind like a reception area told me I smell good as soon as I walked into the door. Definitely this is one that people can smell on me, and I thoroughly enjoy wearing this as well. I find this to be a unique offering in this slew of fragrances that have been released. I find this to be a unique one, and I'm really happy with it. I mean, sometimes unique doesn't mean good, but in this case, the unique really works for me. And I'm also happy that it's not too close to my beloved Sunshine, because I didn't want to dupe. I wanted something that was completely different, and I am so happy with YLOP and plan to be getting a lot more use out of this fragrance. So those are my thoughts on YLOP. Let me know if this is a fragrance that you have smelled. What do you think of it? Is it on your wish list? Is it something that sounds interesting, or does it sound like something you wouldn't be into? Let us know that in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I upload videos every Sunday and Wednesday, and I also throw in bonus videos sometimes as well. Also, make sure you check out my website. It's www.simplyayesha.com. Get on my email list over there so that we can always stay in contact. And if you want to connect me more, make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I'll have links for all my socials, along with links for all the products that I mentioned in this video in the description box below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.